Okay, I think we're good to go. Ish. All right. Let's expand you. And here we go. Okay, good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is doing great. Just going to adjust one of our cameras. We are here for, oh, thank you for joining us. We are here, see if that works, for some posture, posture, mobility, and cardio. Just get some quick water. Make sure you've got water around. Make sure if you've got one to grab a belt and a yoga block. We have a bunch of belts available here. We are doing deliveries, so if you are interested, we can send you one. We're going to start belt behind the back, high up into the armpits. Throw it over your shoulders, and it'll slip down off the shoulders, but just hold it in place so you can grab like so, palms away. Some people crisscross. I prefer not crisscrossing. We're here, and now we're going to just pull down. Oh, and notice the impact. It pulls the head on top of the spine. It opens the chest up. Here, just going to fix our angle a little bit, for now at least. Here we go. Let's see who's joining us. Good morning, everyone. Delia, been forever. Andres, oh, been forever. All right. So again, we hold this for just a few seconds. This is meant not to be something we use to fix our posture, but more to remind the body of where we should be. So I'll do this 2-3 times throughout the day. Suggest the same, especially right now. A lot of us are sitting, and so what that does again is just kind of curls us in. So we need things to open us up. If you have a Swiss ball or even anything you can just lie down, face up on, give you some of the same effect of that opening. So hold for another few seconds. Then we'll let go. We're going to focus not on the, just change angles again. There we go. Put the belt down for a second. We're going to turn the palms backwards with the intent of tipping the shoulder blade into the back. So I'm not just focused on, say, the elbows. I'm using this whole structure, the arm, as an Allen key to drive the tip of the shoulder blade into the back here. And so we've got, with the belt, the harness piece, we're pulling backwards. With the shoulder blades, what we're doing now, we're cementing that. We're creating almost this exoskeleton from the back, compressing us so that, as if you guys have heard me talk about my old yoga instructor, he talks about this idea of like creating this exoskeleton so the internal muscles and organs can relax. Here now, if you've got a belt, or if you don't have the flexibility for one variation on this, we grab the belt, palm facing your butt, and we're pulling apart like this and down here. And one just general good cue is to, is to keep your belly button in and up to the spine, trying to give yourself that lift. Here. Just another few seconds. The variation for those that are flexible enough is to interlace your fingers, turn palms towards your butt, then palms towards the ground. And again, this is a correction I'll do 3, 5, 10 times throughout the day here. And then we will, where did my block go? Grab your yoga block, or your equivalent could be, like if you have nothing else, you can just use a water bottle. A book is fine. And all we're looking to do here is send it high up into the groin. A little adjustment. So we send it high up. And most of us, while we're doing this, most of us have this going on. So we want to do the opposite. We want to rotate the quads, the femurs back. And the easiest way to learn this is to do it wrong. Send the brick forward, which exacerbates the problem, then send it back here. So we're trying to rotate the thighs so that the brick goes back. If you really focus on this, I find for myself, it tips the spine forward. That's okay. For now, we want to really accentuate that, then engage the quads, straighten the legs, and then don't stand from this point. Don't bend the spine, keep the whole spine straight, and just tip of the tilt at the very tip of the tailbone here. There we go. So when you do these two together, again, you don't need the brick. It's just easier to learn it. You send the groins back, and notice I'm not really pigeon toeing. For those that can see my toes, not really pigeon toeing as much as I do with the brick. It's just pigeon toeing is just an easy way to learn the feel. Now as we're doing this, I'm still rolling the groins back, but I'm focusing on, again, this exoskeleton idea of like two opposing forces from opposite sides gives you not only some support from the outside, but gives you, as we see, a lift in your posture, particularly, again, belly button in and up. And last one, this, especially if you're finding you're sitting a lot, we're gonna get one knee down, same arm up. Here, this really valuable stretch. Engage your glute on this side. Here, I find actually sometimes hard to activate it, hard to like flex. So I'll punch myself here just to wake the muscle up. Here, hold for, this one you should do 20-30 seconds. Just generally like 3 times a day. Because again, this there's one muscle that crosses this line, the psoas. It goes from the spine to the femur. And when we sit, it kind of tightens up here. And then when we try to stand, it stays tight and we're bending at the wrong spots in our spine. So everything becomes misaligned. Switch sides. Here. And notice I'm not like tilting that way. We could. It's for, you focus on the obliques, but that's not the purpose of what we're doing. Same knee down as arm that goes up. Here. Flex that glute. And then we're going to throw one more in that helps posture. A lot of us, whether, we work out a lot, do a lot of push-ups, or again, just sitting and typing, our chest tightens up here. And so with all the other stuff we're doing, again, we're trying to open up, but there are so many forces closing us down. So this one, so long as if you can focus on my shoulder, so long as you don't let the shoulder like come out, but keep it in the socket, we come up and just stretch out the pecs here. Hold for another 5 seconds. Appreciate everyone joining us. Really important that we all do what we can to stay healthy, active as we can. Okay, so grab some water. We'll jump right into our mobility. Make sure everything's okay here. Maybe move you guys back a bit. Okay. All right, we're going to jump into mobility. So standing up, a little adjustment. I would ask my assistant for help, but we're staying far away from each other. Okay, so standing up tall, belly button in and up. We're just gonna look to the side. That's just me stretching. Now, up and down. When you go up and down, don't go too far back. We don't want to compress at the back. So maybe like 60% of what's comfortable. And then here, I like to go down and hold it a little extra just because I tend to be a little tight. So kind of double up is a little stretch. Keep going, same thing. Oh. Michael, if you're still with us, hope you're doing great. Hope you and Carrie Ann are good. Oh. Big new family. Oh. Now let's tilt to the side. Oh. So here, notice the shoulders don't come up, shoulders stay down, and we're not turning at all. We're just tilting while facing forward. We'll move to the shoulders. Okay, and finger bursts, get some blood flow into the hands. Oh, one of our competitors, what's up Dan if you're watching, was asking, I talked a fair bit about shoulder retraction. So a lot of us have like loose shoulders or are very flexible naturally. And so it's very easy, especially if you've ever had a shoulder dislocation, it's very easy to kind of not be aware that your shoulder is kind of not in perfect position, which puts you at risk. So glad I remembered. We're gonna go over some ways to keep the shoulder safe. So here we're just doing a little Vanderlei Silva, rotating the wrists. And we're gonna go elbows here, so palms all the way back. Here. And this is different than what we were doing before with the tricep, with the shoulder blades. Because with the shoulder blades, so maybe it's hard to see, but I'm not really moving from above this hand. I'm just rotating here. Whereas before I was rotating this way to again press the shoulder blades into the back like so, as opposed to this. We're really just rotating from the biceps down. Now, both hands out, turn face one, turn palm up, turn the other one palm up. And then other way, boom, 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 boom. Hope you're joining along. Love to see some photos or videos if you are. If you have any questions for the platforms that allow questions, please feel free. So important that we're developing good habits in this time, because not only for the value of good habits in general. Let's see if we can make this work. But this might be a long time. I mean, this might be a few months. Some people think we'll be back to kind of regular routine a little sooner. Some not so sure. Hello, thank you. So let's grab a seat. Fine. Okay, so toe bursts here. Come back a bit. So opening, closing again, getting blood flow into the foot. The reason habits are so important, again, this might be a while, and it's very easy to get into the habit of, snacking a little more than normal, not working out as much as we're used to. And the problem then is not only have we let our good habits kind of erode that we've been working on for the last weeks or months or years before all this transpired. So if we're used to having a little cup of ice cream every night, right now it's not part of our regular routine. Then when in a month things return to normal, it's like, oh no, a nightmare. It's going to be a lot of work to break that habit. So the better we can keep good habits going, not to mention there's that quote, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is something to the effect of a series of small acts. Butchering the quote. So ankle rotations, this always feels so good for me. If say I've got a bum ankle or toe, a little injured. Here. We'll stand back up. We're going to get to our knees. So we're here, feet maybe hip width apart, just circling symmetrically here. So for anyone that is with us right now, we have a few things going on. So we've got a 50% sale on all our gear, got a ton of sweatpants, hoodies, tank tops for the summer, skis, all sorts of equipment. As well, we just placed an order for home mats, folding mats. So if you are interested in some, let us know. And this Saturday, I'm going to be running a Zoom class for our kids. It's very new and challenging for all the parents out there to kind of be home with kids all day long, and I'm sure there's wonderful parts about it, but it's a big change. So this, instead of a parents and kids class, you're welcome to do it with them, but this is designed to be a solo kids class that I'm going to take them through. They don't need any equipment. If you do have mats or even a carpet, that would be optimal, but it'll be a little more fitness focused. That's at 10 and 10:30 for the different age groups, and then 11, I'm going to be sharing some little life lesson philosophy, and if there's good interest and feedback, maybe we'll make that a little more regular. Okay. So big rotations. If there is anything you'd like to see, we are working on getting some more classes going on for everyone. See when we can get that happening. But always open to ideas and feedback. So now you're going to tilt forward, tilt back, also side to side, unless you feel comfortable going forward, side, back, side. And although it looks very silly to some and seductive to others, think about the spine, think about the tip, the tailbone, like how often does it actually get a lot of movement? So this kind of mobilizing is really useful. Okay. And we're going to get in some cat-cow, so on the ground here. Push the back up, tuck your chin. Look to the sky. Oh. As I do this, you spoke about before, I do a little subtle stretch. I'm actually doing this, trying to pull the ground to my knees. as I look up, and that not only stretches my abs and my core, but I find my psoas as well. But a bit of a different discussion. Okay, now sitting down, legs relatively wide, but not your max, because that's going to tuck your tailbone under. So we're here, walk the butt back, arms up, looking to one side, and I should correct that. Looking is the last thing we do. If we focus on the head first, and we're twisting the top of the spine before the bottom has gone. So we start from here, then here, then here, then we look. So it's core first. Very gentle, and there's no swing. I'm not using any momentum. I'm trying to keep upright. Make sure this is not happening where the butt's tucked under, so walk your butt back. Here. Boom. 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 Okay. I think we are good. So grab some water if you need. We are going to jump into some burpees. All right, let's see the best angle. And when we are done this, for anyone who has mats at home, when we are done our burpees, we'll do a little stretch. But for anyone who has mats at home, we're going to go through grapple flow, which is a little solo workout routine that teaches jiu-jitsu movements I've come up with. And there we go. Okay, so I think if you've joined us before, you know how this works. Now, I should say, I find burpees butt, and so they're a great tool. But we had, one of our students had hurt ribs, so bending down didn't work for him. So anything, jump, even squats, going 20 seconds. Maybe optimally with some water bottles or something, but you can do jumping lunges here. You can do jump squats here. Anything that's a little more ballistic, so long as it's good for wherever your body is today. We go 20 seconds hard. We go as hard as we can, and then 10 seconds we rest. We go for 8 rounds. Means the whole thing is 4 minutes, but it's kind of a quick kick your butt workout. And I think that's it. So just see. Oh, sweet. What's up, Jordan? Still figuring out our technology. Okay, so last thing. There's no last thing. This is just me procrastinating because we're all afraid of burpees. All right. So we're gonna wait till it counts down 10 seconds. Then we're gonna go hard for 20 seconds. Whatever your activity is. Make sure it's safe, make sure you got space, and I guess there's nothing more to say. All right. Round one. halfway. Last one. Again, nasal breathing quickly out through the mouth. Allows us to gain control over the breath. Don't sit down, keep moving. Keep the lungs open. Okay, we're gonna go for some leg swings. We'll go for maybe 10. Start cooling down. Other side. Definitely a butt kicker, even though it's super short. Very nice. Grab some water. Oh, glad you did it with us. Is it Lan? Lon? Okay, so just gonna do a 2-minute, maybe 3-minute little hip stretch. Shift one of our cameras. There we go. Okay. So, depending on your flexibility, and this actually is why yoga blocks are so good to have. They were designed or brought in for those that don't have the flexibility, say to go all the way down, helps you stay stable here, stretch the different parts of the hip without having to necessarily be able to come all the way down. So knee points out, toes point forward. We're stretching the adductor side, the medial side, the inner thigh side here. We're gonna flex that leg down here. So for those who haven't heard me talk about it, so right now we're stretching this part, and if we try to say lever the leg down into the ground, we're actually activating that part as well. There's more to it, but if we then relax, we can go further into the stretch. So we press down. What we should be doing is breathing in, contracting everything, and then when we release, the nervous system releases and we can actually go significantly further. Second, knee forward, toes up, here. Hands can come forward for balance if you want. If you want to focus the stretch on the calf, point the toes up, or rather flex the ankle here. If you want to focus on the hamstring, you rotate the hips like this. You pull this hip backwards here. Boom, boom. Now we'll turn to face those toes, flexed foot, and the key here is straight back. This doesn't matter that I can touch my toes. Now is where, with the spine straight, it pulls on the hip, which then acts as a mechanism to anchor or pull on the hamstring. We'll switch sides. Toes point down, knee points out. One of the benefits rather, of working out, and working out can mean many things, but of pushing yourself hard is like, those burpees sucked. They're maybe a little easier because I do them all the time, so we get more comfortable with things we're used to, but right now, especially when things are on hold for so many of us, and other than maybe being at home with our family, which I'm sure is wonderful and then challenging at times, we may not be put. So now we're actually going to go one step further with this. We're going to rotate here. I'll show from this angle. And we're just stretching mainly the IT band here, but also a little bit of the obliques. We'll do the other side. Again, this is just a quick stretch while we're cooling down. But one of the benefits psychologically, besides the endorphins we get from working out, which is actually really important for staying healthy and happy right now, to know that you can do difficult things is a big confidence booster for the rest of your day. So pushing yourself in the morning somehow, not only do you feel accomplished, but you're someone who does difficult things or is capable of it, and that's a real big confidence boost. Think of the word confidence. So now we're stretching our glute. You could, if you're really flexible, you can do a pigeon stretch. I just find I look flexible, but I don't feel I feel that in my knee, and that's not where you want to feel it. So we flex this ankle, We bring not just the ankle, but the whole shin towards us. And then we walk forward to straighten that spine here. The more straight the spine is, like you might even have to come down. But now I'm really feeling it in the glute. Make sure you don't feel it in the knee at all. Where does the word confidence even come from? What's the root word? Confide. What does it mean? What does it mean to confide? Means to kind of share a secret, right? But confidence, who are you sharing that secret with? It's with yourself. You know, we talked a little bit about sports psychology. We all have an inner voice. It's either a positive coach or a negative critic. What we need is that positive coach speaking up a lot more. Confidence is confidence. It's you confiding in yourself that you can do hard things. Now that could be because you really believe it, meaning like all good intentions, or because you saw it in action. This morning, yeah, I really pushed myself. The things you can tell yourself after having gone through something hard are naturally going to be more rewarding and encouraging than otherwise. So grab some water. Enough philosophy. Oh, good morning, everyone. All right. So now we are going to get into grapple flow. So if you don't have mats, there's at least try to get a yoga mat. But still, this might be a little challenging. I'll show you quickly the idea. Uh-oh, special guest time. Uh-oh. Everyone say hello. Oh, excuse me, that's not how we greet people in this era. Everyone, this is Drake. If you haven't met, Drake in Toronto is his Instagram handle. If you feel like following the adventures of Toronto celebrity. So, grapple flow, we're gonna start right now. You can just follow along. We're gonna go till we get our proper like posters made. I'm gonna have to refer to my computer. So I'm just gonna move back for you guys. All right, so tucking your chin, rounding your back, grab your shins. We're just gonna rock here. Now we'll break fall if we have a mat to break fall on. If not, you can be gentle about it, but really don't hit with any force. And now we're gonna come up, collapsing one leg under us, drive the hip forward. We come back again. We call these Hickson sit-ups after the great Hickson Gracie. As we come up, we thrust the hip forward, get a nice little stretch. Boom. Boom. Okay, now onto your back, straight bridge. Boom. Don't let the knees splay. Don't let this happen. Keep the knees in line with the hips. And we're going to go single shoulder bridge, way up a high on a 45. Very good. And now, I believe we have overstep tripods to crumbling hips. So, we're gonna go into the same kind of bridge. Here, point the knee to the side, then lean forward and push off this leg to straighten it and come up to this tripod position. Uh-oh. Be attacked by a ruthless opponent. Drop your knees, bring your toes together, bring your butt to your heels and sit up. Now we're gonna go crumbling hips, which is here, here, and here, to protect the knees in case we're ever sent backwards like this. So boom, we come back, big bridge, knee points, tripod, knees down, sit up, crumbling hips. Big bridge, step over, oops, boom, boom. Crumbling hips. Now this next one is pretty fun. We're going to start in a butterfly stretch, and we're going to roll to our thigh, but then immediately to our shoulder and all the way to the other side. Here. So these are our butterfly roly-polies. One way. Don't get dizzy. Don't go too much to one side. And you may find that you kind of like flounder, you get stuck here. That's okay. Create some momentum and then kick into your hands to come up. Now, super shrimping. Second style bridge again. So all the way up here now, instead of one knee pointing, both knees point. Then the torso and the head come towards the knees. Then, without jumping, we extend the legs here. So again, second style bridge, knees point, head to toes, straighten the legs, boom. Second style bridge, knees point, boom, boom. Second style bridge, boom, boom. That's super shrimping. And now we'll finish with standing and base. Again, very important for self-defense. We're here, boom, and all the way up. Just make a tiny shift. Hello. Hello. Uh-oh. So when we're here, if you haven't done standing base before, the right way to learn it is to start in the low squat with these bent, feet wide. Put a hand down on the inside of the foot, take the foot off, and then come to your hip. You can unwind it and do the proper technical stand-up by doing the same motion in reverse. If you've got it though, and you know your break fall, then we're just gonna stand and go into a break fall. Break fall, tuck our chin, number one. We come as low as we can, round the back, rock back, and then we're here. Hello. Hello. Okay, so that is grapple flow level 1. How are we doing for time? Hello, hello. Oh, been a while. Okay, so level 2. We're gonna start off with windshield wipers. Oh, make sure you can see. Get some company for this one. All right. So we're here, just going side to side. Try to avoid your opponent's deadliest weapon, their tongue, coming right at you. Oh, stay in range. Distance control is the key. All right. Don't fall for their tricks. Cuteness is deception. All right. So those are windshield wipers. We are now basically going to repeat what we were doing a second ago in level 1 with our break fall. Right into it, extend sit up here. Boom. Boom. And boom. Now, we're gonna rock back and then sit up to an elbow. When we sit up to an elbow, we're gonna either send our hips back and then forwards, or forwards and then back. Other side, back, forward, or we go to the hand and do this. There we go. Okay. Oh, I'm missing. Oh, thank you, Janet. Good to see you. Fists work better for harder floor with, oh, with break falls. Yeah, don't break fall on a hard floor, please. Pardon me, everyone. Just grab me a quick sip. Okay, so we'll do just a few more of those. Swing you up, so we go break fall. Use it to swing up to the hand, stand in base. Again, Jordan was suggesting, I think, fists for break fall. I don't suggest trying to break fall on a harder floor. I mean, one day you might have to, but save your hand for that. Boom, we'll go one more. And now, right. So, when we swing up to the hand, we end up in this kind of chilling on the beach posture. We can retract, or we can come forward as we saw with the Hickson sit-up, or we can go sideways with a hip heist. We're gonna go hips up, keep the foot off the ground, because people will often make the mistake of doing this here. There's some applications there, but what we're trying to do is keep the knee on the ground, lift this knee to our chest, and then touch it to this hand. Boom. So we swing up, all the way, knee to your chest. Boom. Now from here, instead of just lying down and wasting the opportunity, we're going to imagine we're in turtle. Someone's on top of us. They start going to this side. We want to intercept them. So we kick that leg back, bring this arm back, lie back, lock them in our guard. Boom, we sit up, hip bump, boom. And now we shift gears. They're in turtle. They come to our side. We reach back. And notice when I kick the leg back, the elbow and knee stay glued because I want to be able to wrap their leg with my hand. Boom, 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 boom. Up, boom, 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 boom. So, whoops. Now, right. So in the level 1, we bridged up, we pointed the knee to the side, and we stepped over. This time, we're gonna step this leg under. Then end up again in a tripod, knees down, and we go crumbling hips one more time. So instead of stepping this leg over, sometimes the opponent has weight on us and we can't. So we step under to rotate. Knees down, feet together, sit up, crumbling hips, both legs to one side, sit, and we're good. Boom. And if you were here for our freestyle on Tuesday, you saw that we could use this as we do in later levels to go straight into our shoulder roll, or even a Granby roll. Okay, so another really simple but important motion that is surprisingly easy to do wrong. When we come here, bottom leg goes all the way behind me, top leg comes all the way in front, and we scissor up to our knees. Really important, because sometimes I'm chasing something over there. This leg's in my way. It's got to go behind. This one now comes up here. We can go crumbling hips or drop back to guard, as you prefer. So boom, boom, boom. And notice, sitting back to guard is basically unscissoring, doing the opposite. Here, crumbling hips, boom, scissoring, etc. Right. So when we shrimp, we learned it with 2 feet because that's kind of the most powerful version. And if you can do that, you can do all other versions. We're going to go top leg only now. Turn to the side, head to the toes, kick the leg back. Switch sides. If the knee points up at all, it won't work. You need the knee horizontal. Boom. Now you can really push. Turn on your side, head to toes, boom. Head to toes, boom. Point the knee down. And last 2. Right. So now we're gonna go hip ups. Again, easy on a yoga mat. Okay, we're coming here. Boom, boom. So you can use your hands if you need, but we're trying to use momentum. So we're not going slow, we're going pretty quick. And notice I'm not sitting up with it, which I can avoid by just flinging the legs out. Boom. Boom. Now, we're going to rock back. And when we roll back, so this is a hip up. If I go further, notice I end up compressing my neck, but only if the neck's in the way. So we tilt to the side, and now that creates a little space here. So the toes, or the legs rather, if we slow it down, can come here. Now, if you're flexible enough, touch the toes down. If not, I find framing on the side of my hip here useful here, because I can kind of, pardon me, can kind of hang out there. But what we do want is to get to the point that we're here, because in level 3, which we'll probably save for next time, we use it to go all the way into a reverse shoulder roll. So we're gonna wrap it there. See if we have any additional questions. Thank you everyone who did join us, however long you did, for joining us. And yeah, have a great rest of the day. Believe in yourself, confide in yourself, do good stuff, and we will see you next time. All right. Actually, we'll end this one first.